4 creepy car cultist mindsets I hate. The first one I have a problem with is when people think you can only like cars, that you can't have any other hobbies but cars. Unfortunately, a lot of car guys still think this, and they call people fake car guys if they don't live, breathe, eat, sleep, and dream about cars every waking minute of the day or night. It's more healthy to have multiple interests in life, so having other hobbies is good. Anyways, it's still crazy how I get some pushback for this suggestion, especially when I make motorcycle, anime, or even gaming related content on YouTube or otherwise. I still get people saying that I'm a fake car guy because of that, and they talk about it as if I'm like cheating on cars, like it's my wife or something. Having another hobby is not cheating on your main hobby because they're hobbies. There's no such thing as cheating on a hobby. That's just weird. Even in my real life friend group, I still get chewed out for building gaming PCs for my girl, and like I just think it's weird because they'll just tell me like, dude, those graphic cards, they're so expensive, man. That could have been money you could have put towards your car, and it's hyper delusional. Like, I just think having multiple hobbies makes you significantly more interesting to talk to, and it also gives you more social viewpoints because you don't live in an echo chamber. It's even worse when you encounter these people outside of a car meet, like hanging out at bars, malls, concerts, or heaven forbid, speed dating or really dating in general. I gave up on helping one of my former friends who was like a deeply car cultist type of guy who was in his mid-30s, and he's just been chronically single, and every date that myself or my boys would try to set him up on, he ended up scaring the girl away with how much he wanted to talk about his clapped out R32. Golf. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say Skyline, but I'll be real with you. Even if he did have the R32 Skyline, most girls would still just see it as a Nissan and move on. And I know that's gonna trigger a ton of car guys with me saying that, but that's the reality of non-car people. They don't care about, they literally just look at badge only. In fact, you're lucky if they look at badge only. Some people don't even look at badges. And that's totally fine. They have different hobbies, different interests in life. And by the way, it's okay to date people who have your same interests, because I know it could be too upsetting to you if you had to force yourself to get along with someone who had zero interest with you. That's also a bad thing. But I wouldn't like have a hissy fit, because like here's the thing, we set him up with girls who were interested in cars, or like said that they're interested on their profile, and he still creeped them out, because the problem is like I feel like most people have like a limit to how much they can deal with someone when they have a very obvious one-note personality that's built on one hobby, and that gives them the conversational skills of a Bethesda NPC. Like, it's nice if the other person is the same hobby as you, but like I said, whenever you have other interests or are open to having other interests, so if they talk about snowboarding or hiking or whatever, and you're open to those conversations, so even if you don't have another hobby yet, you may get one, right? Like, that's important when making friends or finding loved ones, or just being a functional human being in society. What's worse though is that him and many others just doubled down on staying in the car bubble, where like whenever they ended up doing horrible in dating, they would just blame the other person, which is another typical signature mindset of someone who's in a cult. They go, it's not me, it's you, it's always the world around me, it's everyone else. These people need to understand that it's themselves that need to be fixed, not the, oh, it's just the weird non-car guys that just don't understand me. Like, I know I meme non-car guys on this channel, but before someone calls me a hypocrite over it, I'm clearly memeing. Like, I've done that since 2018. Like, I'm self-aware to the fact that you should have another hobby, and I've mentioned this from the start of my channel, and you gotta keep like a diverse palette of media consumption, so you don't end up living in an echo chamber. You would think as a car YouTuber, I'm like 80% subscribed to car guys, right? Believe it or not, it's like probably only 40 to 50%, and it's not like I don't like the other car guys, it's more so I want to choose to keep up with other YouTubers that are outside the car community, because sometimes it's more enjoyable for me. Another thing you need to always remember is that most YouTubers play a character. There are 10,080 minutes a week. Even if they post a 10-minute video every single day, that's still only 70 minutes of the week. Who are they the other 10,000 minutes of the week? This applies to me too. I only upload maybe once, maybe twice a week, and who you're seeing is really a 12 to 15 minute exposure to me each week. So just know that whenever I'm making car content, I am not actually 100% in belief of those values, just like many other YouTubers. I'm playing a character and I'm memeing non-car people. Like, I actually have entire friend groups that are filled with non-car people that I get along with fantastically as well, who I've maintained friendships with for several years. I'm also memeing whenever I say I'm a 45-year-old Corvette Boomer. Guys, I'm like literally Gen Z / millennial, depending on who you ask, so I'll just say zillennial. The next entry, this is definitely another thing that I hate that car cultists say, say is when someone says that you don't deserve that car, and I've used this specific listing before, but I'm actually going to tell it in a different way. So I'm going to explain it better using my own self, actually. So I'm going to dissect a teenage mentality that I had back when I was younger that kind of like connects to the cult-like behavior that develops with kids that have early internet access, aka someone like me. I admit to growing up playing racing games, reading spec sheets online, all that jazz. At one of the first car meets I ever went to, I met some guy with a Lamborghini Gallardo. It was lime green, V10, gated shifter. And when he called his own car lime green, I corrected him and it said, actually, it's called Verde Ithaca. And I'll always remember how stupidly everyone around me looked at me. When he talked about his engine being a V10 and whatever, and how it's like handmade by Lamborghini Blair, I was like, actually, it's from Audi, specifically the Audi R8 V10, so it's not made by Lamborghini. And when I brought that up to him, yet again, he's like, thanks for the information. He kind of just shrugged and said, you know, that was kind of it. He just continued the conversation. And I obviously walked away being super awkward. And you can tell that he was leagues ahead of me in terms of maturity back then. And I was a dumb, stupid kid back then for the same reason that a lot of people are dumb, stupid kids back then and may not even know it until they grow older and look back at it. Like, it's funny, when I was 15 and 17, I thought no one in the world took me seriously. I had main protagonist syndrome. You know, everyone around me is the stupid one. And then I grew up to be 20 something, and I look back and I'm like, dude, you're stupid. You're actually stupid. Like, and this still happens with like my early YouTube channel in like 2016 or 2017. When I was 18 and 19, I was still stupid. Like, I still think I'm really, really stupid at that time period of my life. I don't think people truly become like a properly functioning adult until they reach like 22 onwards. If you actually think that, yeah, that Lamborghini guy didn't deserve his Gallardo. Teenage you was ride bladed. He didn't deserve that Gallardo. How could you buy a car like that and not know it has a Audi R8 V10 and it's Verde Ithaca? Like, I'm just gonna quote a fellow car YouTuber, Casey Push. You've probably seen him from VinWiki. This quote, I don't actually remember which video exactly it was from because I've watched a lot of his videos over the years. If you do know which one it's from, please comment it below. And even then, I'm also roughly quoting it because I couldn't find the video it was from, so I know it was from him. I know it has to be because I watched him say, but basically he said, you shouldn't have a dream car as your dream. Your dream should be to make a difference in the world first, become an astronaut, a doctor, whatever, then just so happen to make the money to buy your dream car. That, like I said, is kind of a butchered quote, but more or less that was Casey's ideology, and that kind of lives rent-free in my head forever because he's right. You don't know how much someone has worked to get to where they are to buy what they wanted or dreamed of. So even if that Lamborghini owner didn't know something like his Verde Ithaca color or his Audi R8 V10 that's in his Lamborghini, doesn't change the fact that he's the one who bought it. And I have to respect that as a fellow adult who now, is in the workforce, who now has a job, who now understands how hard the grind is and how much responsibility being an adult properly brings. I don't have to like him for it. He doesn't need to become my best friend, but I have zero right to say that he doesn't deserve his car, like I can rip it from his hands or something, just because I Googled more specs or played more Forza and knew more obscure facts about it. Get a dream that isn't just the dream car. Actually get a job, work hard, and get that car. You don't deserve it if you're not the one who buys it. I know that sounds very brutal, but that is the reality of life. The third sign that someone's too car cultist-like kind of ties back into the first, relating to why they'll avoid other hobbies. I hear this from a ton of car guys where they go, I don't want to do another hobby because, they're just dangerous. This is a massive cope here. And it's very specific, but it will match this video because I do know way too many car guys use this excuse. And it always comes up when you bring up like other hobbies, skiing, climbing, sailing, or boating, or swimming, or even motorcycling. And they say this phrase, yeah, I don't want to do those hobbies. Those hobbies are too dangerous. Yeah, I actually respect my life, bro. Yeah, you changed, man. Yeah, you're putting your life at risk. Just have fun, man. This is a massive cope. And again, I hear a shocking amount of car enthusiasts, especially in like some of the former car clubs I used to be part of, and that would actually use this as a reason whenever we got into other hobbies. And it just, sometimes in life, you just have to realize that anything and everything can kill you, but you don't worry about that. You just live life. And now let me talk about why it's a massive cope, because it's a massive hypocrisy. The reality is most car guys in today's day and age do like to drive really fast. Heck, even just driving in general, so not even going fast, is still statistically statistically very dangerous. It is still, you're more likely to die driving than flying a plane. You're more likely to die than an F-18 Super Hornet going through a war zone. Like, that's actually statistically safer than driving, and there's a certain level of humor involved in that. If you want to be safe and call other hobbies dangerous, then don't have any hobbies at all. Just sit indoors all day. I mean, even then, you might die of VOCs, so volatile organic compounds, if you're not opening the windows enough. You might have asbestos, and if you're too old of a home, so you'll develop lung cancer, blah, blah, blah. But the point of life is to stop worrying about every little detail and just live life. We're all going to leave this world at some point. Like, every hobby, to a certain degree, is going to be dangerous. The best thing we can do is just mitigate that risk as much as possible. Don't be stupid, don't let ego take over you, and most importantly, just enjoy life. And I've learned to respect how people spend their time doing those other hobbies. Unless it's doing a lot of drugs, partying, and drinking, I'm always going to dunk on that, because that is the most NPC activity thing you can do. Because one thing I am aware that will catch up with me if I were to go old, because I already see it catching up with some of my friends, is that you shouldn't play with your body like a toy. You only got one of those. You only get one body in your life. And it's crazy how some former high school MFs that I grew up with already look so washed up at 22 or 25, because they've just been on that, bro. Like, they've been on all kinds of things. You know, I've only been on YouTube for 7 years actively, and if you're new, by the way, welcome to the channel. I make automotive content. Subscribe if you're enjoying the video, by the way. But it's just crazy how short and far away this time span kind of feels to me. I forgot school even started up again because I'm an adult now, right? So like, I was actually seeing buses going around the road and whatever, and I actually got like a student discount at a boba cafe because I wear a backpack when I ride my bike. But it was kind of funny because I wasn't gonna correct them, right? I'm gonna take the 15% off in this economy, hell yeah. But also, it's good knowing that the reason that happened is I still pass as someone who looks young enough where that mistake can even happen. I still get carded all the time when I go to bars because they think I still look too young to even be 21. I can't say the same for those former friends I just talked to you about who are on drugs, who are on stupid things, who play with their body like a toy, alright? Anyways, we're gonna move on to the file entry because it's definitely changed from being a car only video to like a life lesson video. And you know what? We're leaving that in. I'm gonna actually not edit that out because I think that was a good talk that some people need to hear in their teen years as they go into their 20s to even the mid-20s, like where I'm at now. The final cultist behavior is when people go tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of debt, and then expect other car guys to do the same. They literally go into debt for cars and talk about it like it's a commitment to cars. Like, dang, I'm so committed. You're not as committed as me. And it's like, again, why do we talk about cars like they're our wives or something? And these are like the most annoying car friends that you should probably avoid if you ever meet them at car meets. And I know that sounds really brutal and cruel, but you probably just don't want to be friends with these guys. And that's not me coming from an echo chamber. It's the opposite. It's me coming from an outsider perspective, looking in at these guys and realizing they're the ones in the echo chamber. Because they always talk about like, yeah, bro, yeah, Civic, man. Yeah, no, you need to get like 70 grand, take a loan out, man. Yeah, I know a credit union that can improve you. You need to get a real car guy car, bro. You get a real car guy car. You can't have that Civic. You're not a real car guy. Like, if someone talks to you like that at a car meet or online in a Discord server or on Twitter or whatever, cut them out of your friend group. Don't let someone tell you that you need to have an expensive sports car, performance car, muscle car, supercar to be a car guy. You shouldn't have to be forced by someone, and if they especially use that word of you need to be a real car guy by owning this car or buying this car, don't let them insult you. And if they do insult you and you don't have anything you can say, if you have social anxiety, whatever, walk away. You always have the power to walk away. Someone should never tell you, they're like, yeah, dude, go come get this like 20 grand loan, 30 grand loan, 50 grand loan, 70 grand loan, Shelby GT500, Civic Type R, whatever the heck, whatever car you have, enjoy it. Make money at your own pace. If you want to upgrade, you upgrade. If you don't want to upgrade, keep your car for a few more years. This limited scope of view in life is capable of happening anywhere to anyone in any hobby. And it's not meant to be like an exposed piece of the car community. So if you're thinking that, you've already missed the point of the video. So in the off chance a non-car guy actually made it to the end of this video, this is more of a lesson of avoidance. These are the signs you need to look for, and the solution is to not let one singular thing become everything. Having said that, thanks for watching. If you enjoy automotive content, make sure to subscribe, like my videos, and check out my latest shorts if you haven't already. Share this video with any of your terminally car brain cultists that you may know, and see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.